Hey guys, so this is really different. I'm going to record this really quickly because I am running late as usual. I know, surprise surprise, but yeah, we're just about to leave and it's so strange. This is going to be my last time in my bedroom, like with it being my bedroom. Last night was really emotional. I said bye to like my two best pals and we went to wander around the school again and said bye to like some friends and things, and it was just, yeah, it's really sad, but it's really exciting as well. And I can't believe that this is it. It's so odd. I just thought I'd show you guys the absolute stunning view I have from my room. So strange to be leaving that behind. Like, sea view. Absolutely so blessed. It's so strange, so odd. Yeah, I've been here for 8 years, so the thought of moving back to a city is really exciting, because I have loved it here, but it is very quiet. But it's so strange to now be leaving that quiet behind, because I realised, like, the past couple of days, I really have got used to it and looking out to the ocean and things. It's so strange to think that's not going to be right outside my window anymore. It's lovely to know it's somewhere I can always come back to. So this is me saying goodbye to my room, goodbye to Bute, and thank you so much for 8 amazing years, and yeah, I guess I'll be back at Christmas. London is calling. Here we go. So hey guys, I'm going to be really quiet when I'm talking in here because I don't want to sound like a crazy person, but I'm currently staying at my sister's house and her fiance. We went to Cumbernauld on our way back from Bute. We went to Cumbernauld, had a little lunch with my gran and my sister and her fiance and my mum, and yeah, we then made our way through to Edinburgh and we're staying here tonight, and then we're leaving here at 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, which should be fun. And yeah, we're driving down, so I'll keep you updated. Okay, so this is kind of awkward because like the people in the kitchen can definitely hear everything I'm saying, but I really want to film just now because it's golden hour, so the lighting's really cute. I'm gonna go and remove this thing from the background because that is not aesthetically pleasing. Clean hands. Not to go off topic for a second, but this is absolutely lovely. Highly recommend this. My sister gave it to me before we made the journey down, and it tastes amazing. I unfortunately am rubbish at languages and reading languages, so I cannot tell you what it's called or what it even says, but it was like a mango sort of peach tea thing. Here for 5 days and I've still not met all my roommates yet. Only met 2 of them. So they probably think I'm insane right now because I'm not sure if it's because I'm the room beside I'm not sure if it's because I'm the room beside the kitchen, but I can hear everything going on in the kitchen all the time. Like, and like I'm really lucky. They seem like lovely people so far. No one's making a racket. I am truly blessed with that. But yeah, I can hear everything that they're saying and doing in the kitchen. So I'm like, they must be able to hear me and hear. So I was like, oh, I'll film because it's golden hour. But like, I don't want them to think I'm insane. I was gonna wait until they left the kitchen because I think I know the girl that's in the kitchen at the moment, so it's not that big a deal. But she's talking to someone, so I'm like, I don't know if that's another roommate or like who that is. But like, they sound like they're having quite a deep conversation. On another note, If anyone knows me, they know how much I am completely obsessed with Rick and Morty. It is literally one of my favourite programmes. I also love Sabrina, which if you follow me on Instagram, Facebook or anywhere, or even just meet me in person, I will likely bring up Sabrina in some way, shape or form. I absolutely love the chilling adventures of Sabrina. But my other TV love, or program, whatever you want to call it. For moving in here, my sister like bought me a lot of things for like actual general living, because when you live at home for your entire life and are moving out for the first time, you have very little concept of what you actually need to survive, and I definitely realised that as soon as I moved in, because even when I got here I realised that a baking tray was something I probably needed. So my sister very kindly ordered me that, so thanks Megan, after I moved in, because I didn't know if that was something you needed in general day-to-day life. Because although you use it when you're at home, like when you move out for the first time, maybe I'm just really stupid, probably that's usually how it goes, but yeah, it's definitely, there's a lot of things you have to think about, and a lot of things you don't generally think about when you're living at home, because you just kind of take it, you know. So when I moved in here, there was lots of little things, like, you know, like, I mean, obviously new bed sheets and all that jazz, but my sister bought me a lot of my things, and one of my favourite things she's bought me, I think it's genuinely my favourite thing I own. I love it so much. I genuinely screamed when she sent me the photo of it. Golden hour seemed like a very good idea, but it lasts for a very little amount of time, and that time is now past, so let there be light. So yeah, one of my all-time favourite series on Netflix is a TV show called Rick and Morty. So, drumroll please. It is a Pickle Rick mug! Look at this guy, how cool is that? I feel like I'm doing one of those like TV ads that come on at like 2 o'clock in the morning, you know, like, buy this mug for only $15.99 plus a £59 deposit. It's so much fun. So if you haven't watched the show, you probably won't really get it. The main character in the show, or one of the main characters in the show, is Rick Sanchez. He's like this really clever scientist alcoholic. It's very funny, very entertaining. But one of the episodes he turns himself into a pickle, and it's Pickle Rick! And my friends literally know about that, even though they don't even watch the show, because I talk about it all the time. So I'm very excited about this. Thank you so much, Megan. Love ya. Yeah, I just thought I'd sit down here and just have a chat about everything that's been going on, because I've been moved in here now for about 5 days. I moved in on Saturday. We're now on the Wednesday, so I've been here for a few days and I'm starting to really settle in now. So yeah, I thought I'd just chat about what's been going on and all that jazz. As I said, we were leaving at 5 o'clock in the morning, and we left at 5 o'clock in the morning. I have not been up at that time and out the house at that time in such a long time. I mean, the last time I was up at that time in the morning, I think it must have been probably October of last year when I went on the trip to Auschwitz. We had to be up at like 3:30 in the morning, I think, for that flight. It was crazy time in the morning, very, very early. But yeah, had to get up super early for leaving to come down here, so I felt like death. So I took a little bit of a clip when I was in the car on the way down, and then there was a lovely sunrise. We drove past this really nice sea cliff area thing that I'm sure I'll have inserted just before now, so you'll have probably seen that. But yeah, it was absolutely gorgeous. It was really stunning, but that's really all the footage I took on the way down, because I was dying. We left at 5 o'clock, so that meant that none of us really had breakfast. I wasn't in the mood to eat at that time in the morning, and I get really travel sick anyway. I really think that the leaving at 5 o'clock, being up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then being out of the house for 5, not having breakfast, getting to sleep at like 1:30, it just all didn't go so great. So it meant that I was really travel sick. I can't remember the last time I've been so travel sick in the car. It was horrendous, so bad, the whole way down. So our first stop, we only really stopped twice, but only one proper stop to get breakfast and have a coffee and sort of chill out a bit. I was gonna film a little bit in there. I'd planned to do a little bit of a talk and like, you know, show you the car and all that jazz. But I genuinely felt like death, so I got my coffee. We had some very nice porridge, which was lovely. was a lovely little rest stop, very nice, a very posh one I would say, from compared to a few of the other ones that I've been into. And it was nice to just get out the car for a bit, but even with that we only stayed there for like half an hour, 35 minutes tops, and then we were back in the car. So the majority of the journey that we were traveling down, I ended up falling asleep because every time I was awake I just felt ill, and every time I was asleep I would then wake up and felt ill, so it just wasn't a fun trip. But yeah, I would say it didn't overly hit me that I was going to be in London alone until we actually got here. I think because it's been such a long time that I've been preparing for coming down here, and it's been really exciting. I don't think the actual reality of it hit me until we arrived at the accommodation. Like the whole way down in the car I was like, yeah, I'll be fine, like I'm really excited about it, living in London, can't wait. Like also that independence, because it's my first ever time living alone, and it's not just living alone like me moving up to Glasgow or Edinburgh, it's me moving alone, you know, not really much familiarity with the familiarity. It's like it's not a city that I'm overly familiar with, because I've only been down to visit about, must be 4 times at most, 3 or 4 times. So it's not like me moving to Glasgow or Edinburgh where it's somewhere that I've visited many a time and that I generally know my way about or could figure it out very quickly. With it being London, it's not really been somewhere that I've ever had the chance to explore, because whenever I've been down it's been to go and visit, you know, BIMM, or to go and see a concert, or it's always been a general flying visit. I've only been here for a couple of days, so not really much time to explore such a large city. So I think coming to the accommodation and arriving here, getting out the car, it was just like, oh my gosh, like this is me, this is going to be my home for the next however many years. And it just really hit me, you know, when you're living at home and when you're traveling about with your parents and, you know, your family even, you know that you don't really have to, being the youngest, you don't have to take control of how do we get here, how much is this going to cost, like how blah 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 blah, all these practical things that you don't have to do when you are the young one who's generally being sort of like, you know, like led by the others in the family, you know. So being dropped off here, it was like I need to like learn how to get, you know, my way about this area. I need to learn how to get into the centre, how to use the, you know, how to use the tube, which isn't overly something I've ever had to do, because in Glasgow, although we have an underground system, it's not something I used day to day, and it's very easy to operate because it's not, I wouldn't say that large, whereas the tube is obviously massive. It goes all around London, there's all these various different stops, there's these different lines, it was a big, so it's things like that it just sort of hit me that I needed to now take up the adult responsibility of working out how to do those things. So the first night I would say I was a bit homesick, although I was still, you know, excited about living in a city, but it was very much a sort of, oh my gosh, like this is the thing that's happening. But yeah, the Sunday I then just spent the day in the flat watching some Netflix, watching some Friends, some Rick and Morty, with my Rick and Morty mug, and yeah, watching a little bit of Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, because other favourite show, love it so much. Not to go off topic, but if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, although I don't really post on Twitter much, quotes from the show, I love it. I love Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Very much recommend that show too. Fantastic, the cast is incredible, the acting is incredible, the storyline is fantastic, especially now that we're into October and it's my favourite time of the year. I love October, so it's very spooky and gets you in that sort of spirit for Halloween, so very highly recommend that. But yeah, just binge watch some of my favourite shows really, just to settle in. And then by the time it came to the Sunday night, I would say I was starting to settle in a lot more, I was starting to feel a bit more at home, and then by the Monday, when I actually then started my course, it was after that I felt a lot more settled with meeting people and getting to, you know, chat to the folk that were going to be on my course and just get an idea of the area and wander about a bit by myself outside, though I know that I quite like doing things independently. It's nice to just get that sort of solidarity and confirmation that I was comfortable walking about myself, and I was okay here, and I was okay with the independence. And I think after that, and then after going in and actually meeting people and chatting and realizing that everyone, it is true, you know, because a lot of my friends went off to university and college before me, so when they were all going off, especially from doing so many music gigs, it's forced me to come out my shell. And you know, no matter how nervous you are or how introverted you are, you have to be like, hi, like, my name's Beth, like, what's yours, blah 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 blah. Like, you have to talk to people, or else you're going to be sat with no pals in like the green room and, you know, waiting lonely for like an hour before you go on stage. There's no point in that, and it sort of takes away a bit of the fun of live performing. So I would say I'm very used to now just going up to random not random people, but I'm used to going up to people who are, you know, in competitions or in different shows with me or whatever, and being able to go up and have a chat and introduce myself and make friends. So for a lot of, you know, especially for my friends that went off to university and college this year, they were obviously going off before me, so I was just like, no, like, everyone's in the same position as you, don't worry about it. Everyone's, you know, coming from a place of likely leaving home and leaving their friends behind. Even if they're still living in the place they've always grew up in, they're still gonna want to make friends in their, you know, their college or university or whatever, because you can have friends outside of college and uni, but then that would mean that you'd be coming in and being lonely when you're in your classes or whatever. It just doesn't really work like that. You have to make friends with the people on your courses anyway. So that was the advice I was giving all of them for a couple of months, and then it was like, oh, this is my first day, okay, cool, fantastic, you do this all the time, Beth, it's fine, don't worry about it. So it was really nice to just be able to go in, and then the people that I met when I walked through the doors were absolutely lovely. And yeah, it's just been really nice. It really allows you to settle down and settle into the course and to your new surroundings when you have people who you click with. So that's always lovely, that's always really nice. Course-wise, I'm absolutely loving it. I am so glad that I chose to study here. Obviously up in Scotland we are extremely lucky to be given the opportunity to study free of charge. So in Scotland you can get funded by the government, the Scottish government, through SAS, which allows you to go to university or college of your choice, and you get your tuition costs paid for. So all you really need to worry about is your accommodation and your books and jotters and things. But even with that, you can take out student loans, and you know, you can get certain bursaries to try and help with that. We're very lucky to have that opportunity. Obviously, even just coming down to England, I know that that isn't something that a lot of people here, you know, free tuition isn't a thing unless you get a scholarship really down here. And yeah, it's just a reality for everyone. Whereas me coming from Scotland, I had always generally expected me to study up in Scotland, so me worrying about paying for tuition costs was never a thing I needed to think about until it actually came to the moment where I realised this is where I wanted to be. I'm so thankful to the Scottish Government for making that a possibility. But for me personally, there was no popular music vocals course that suited me. From, you know, I went to quite a few open days, I looked online at many courses, and there was no course that I found that I felt suited me as well as BIMM did. So up in Scotland, although you do have some popular music vocals courses, they seem very much focused on the technology side or the theory side. There seems very little focus on the actual performance and vocal and songwriting artistry side of it. And those are the things that I really wanted to focus on. So the course that I'm studying is a BA in professional musicianship vocals. So obviously the key focal point of my studies are vocals. That's obviously what I love to do. It's my, you know, my absolute joy. What I wanted my course to focus on is vocals, you know. But the course also focuses on live performing, and that's something that the courses up in Scotland didn't really seem to touch on. Live performing is such an important part of being an artist, obviously, especially being a vocalist as well. And for me, it's one of my favourite parts of it. I love being on a stage and getting that connection between, you know, you yourself and the audience. It's fantastic. And meeting people afterwards, it's incredible. It's lovely. You meet so many fantastic people through performing. I can't stress that enough, and I love it. And the fact that it's such a main part of what I'm studying is incredible. So that was something that really drew me into the course. But then it's also the fact that along with that, you look at songwriting. Again, something I absolutely adore. I have a real love for English outside of music. I would say, you know, my favourite subjects in school were music, English and history. So English has always been a real love for me. I adore it. Poetry especially is one of my favourite things to read, to write myself. You know, songwriting sort of like elongated poetry. For me anyway, if I'm ever writing poems, are generally quite short. So a song for me is like writing a sort of melodical poem. And the fact that that is touched on in my course is fantastic. Even if just a little bit so far from what I've gathered from being in class, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a major focus, but the fact that I have the opportunity to share my own original songs, and there's, you know, different clubs and different, you know, song circles and things that I can go along. I have the opportunity to perform your original songs to your class. It wasn't ever something that was really on offer in any of the other universities or colleges that I looked at up in Scotland or even around about the UK. It focuses on wider things too, so it doesn't just focus on vocals, performing and songwriting. It focuses on theory, which is again a massively important part of learning music. The course also focuses on music business, which is again something that never really seemed to come up when I went to the open days or looked online at the courses up in Scotland or around about. Nothing quite like BIMM anyway. So for instance, today my lesson focused on copyright and learning about what trademark is and learning about the sort of basics of what really all the people that go behind creating an artist and promoting an artist. Those are things that I think are so important to learn, because I think it's so tragic the amount of musicians and singers, songwriters, whoever, that go out into the world and you might get noticed by someone and they'll say, oh, okay, we want to take you on our label, or we want to take you, you know, into the studio to record this or whatever. And you just, you know, you just see them really get caught up in that and like, yeah, this is my time, whatever. But they get really almost swindled by these people because they don't know how to protect their music, and it's like they lose the rights to their music, or they lose what they wanted to do with their music because they aren't fully aware of the music business side of it. It's something I'm really, really interested to learn more on because I think it's so important to learn that as an artist. So I would just like to say a massive, massive thank you to every single person who has liked, shared, commented on, sent me a lovely message of support. Anything with my GoFundMe page, it genuinely means more than I can ever express into words. I've been completely blown away by all of your support. It's just been so heartwarming, and I can't believe that so many people have been so kind enough to have, you know, to be so supportive of my musical journey. There's so many people who I haven't even met before who have sent me a lovely message, or who have shared it, donated, commented, liked, shared, whatever. It's just been absolutely incredible. And then from the various gigs as well, so like the Maura Anderson Foundation, they put on a little Beth tea party thing, and it was just so lovely meeting the people and getting to see everyone before I came down here. And it's the same as Fido Productions put on a really nice gig in Cumbernauld and Bar Yellow. Like that, it was just me along with some other musicians who gave up their time to come sing to raise money for my studies down in London. And it's just so lovely because both of those events allowed me to say goodbye and, you know, just catch up with people before coming down here. And then I had the chance to perform at my grand's lunch club, and that was lovely, getting to sing to her friends and see her again. So it's been such a lovely experience, all of the support that I've had. You know, my mum's been handed in different cards and things at work to pass on to me as well, and it's just been so beyond heartwarming, all of the support I've been given. And even now I put up a post saying that I was now studying down here, and just the fact that so many people have taken the time out of their day to just send me a little message wishing me good luck. It means the absolute world. So thank you so much. You genuinely are the people who are making this a possibility, and I am so beyond grateful. If you haven't yet had a chance to check out my GoFundMe page, if you just go to
www.gofundme.com/from-bute-to-BIMM.
You can find everything up there. You can read my story, you can donate, share, send me a lovely message, whatever you want to do, you can check it all out there. It means so much. Thank you so much for watching. It means the absolute world. This is a little bit of a different video for me to film. I never really do a sort of sit down and chat with you guys thing, but I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was fantastic. Really hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, then please do like this video, share it, comment, let me know what you'd like to see in the future. I really wanted to do a video like this for a really long time. I've just been putting it off because I haven't really been sure what to talk about or what you guys would actually want to see. So yeah, I've really enjoyed it. My favourite YouTubers are people like Shane Dawson, Tana Mojo, Harmony Nice, Hayley Reese. So I really wanted to do videos like them for a really long time, even just sit down chat with me sort of videos. Who would like to see more videos like this with me just chatting to the camera, I don't know, question and answer things, or me talking about some spooky stories? I love a bit of that, especially the fact that it's now Halloween. Please do leave that down below in the comments. I really want to know what you guys want to see on this channel, because there's no point in me creating videos that you're not really interested in. So you leaving a comment down below really helps me in knowing what you would actually like to see content wise. I really want to change it up and let you guys get to know me a bit more as a person, and for me to just have a bit more fun with my channel and experiment. Please remember to head down below and press the subscribe button. Please also remember to hit the notification bell to make sure that you never miss when I post a video. Please also remember to check out and follow my social medias. You can find me at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all that kind of stuff, all at Beth Swan Sings. It will all be listed down below and it will pop up again at the end screen, so please do remember to check that out. Thank you so much again for watching, and I really hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one. Love ya, bye.
Now let's have some bloopers of me and my best bros being idiots.
That's not that, nope, that's not it, dude.
She just
Paige! Emma was in the zone, dude!
1, 2, 3. She just oh yeah. Go right out there. Ready.
Time to say goodbye. To places I never seen, to places I've not shared with you. Forever I will go on, I'll sail with you. Yes, Paige!